Hey y'all, it's Betsy with Happily Ever After, etc. and welcome back to another Cricut project. So today we are going to be working on a fun mermaid themed sign for summer. I thought this would be perfect. I have this little silicone mermaid tail mold and I wanted to put this on a sign so bad. I'm going to be pouring it next week, so stay tuned for the actual resin pour. But it's going to go right here on our sign. I decided to do the words out of a pink Sports Flex iron-on and a holographic iron-on, which I think is fabulous. I'm going to pour my little mermaid tail in similar tones. So the little quote says, "She is a mermaid on dry land and the world is her ocean," which I think is really cute for a kid's room or for an adult's room. It's kind of straddles the line between not being too childish, but not being, I mean, it's about mermaids. It's playful and fun, and I think it would work in a lot of situations. So either way, we're going to head right into Cricut Design Space, open a new canvas, upload our SVG, and get started with this project. The hollow iron-on gives us, I don't want to say a run for our money because it's not like a bad problem, but it does start to give us a little bit of an issue. There's a little bit of troubleshooting. So stay tuned to the end and then let me know if your holographic iron-on has ever done this. But for now, let's open Cricut Design Space and get started.
Okay, y'all, so the first thing we're going to do is open Cricut Design Space, grab a new canvas by clicking on New, and then uploading our SVG. So you'll come right down here to Upload. You will upload your image, select it, and add it to your canvas. From there, everything is grouped, so you'll be able to weld individually if you would like mermaid and ocean. Just select that layer and select weld down here under combine, or you can weld it all as one layer. I'm going to do the words mermaid and ocean in a separate holographic iron-on, and then the rest of this in a standard kind of iron-on. So that's why I'm doing two separate colors. If you want to do one color, then you'll just select the entire image and hit weld to have one solid image. Either way is fine. It just depends on your preference. So from here, we're going to go ahead. We're going to hit Make It. I am using my Maker 3, but we are using a cutting mat for this project, so you can really use anything that will cut a large enough SVG. So your Cricut Maker, your Maker 3, your Explorer 2 or 3. I'm going to select on mat. You can use Smart Vinyl for this. I just don't have Smart Vinyl for this, so there you go. I'm going to select Mirror because we're doing iron-on. Perfect. Perfection. It's going to connect to our machine. And now, instead of Smart Iron-On, which is what I've been selecting, we're going to actually have to go in and select iron-on. I guess it's been a while since I've used regular iron-on. Sports Flex for our first one, and then we'll pick holographic for the second. Now it's going to remind you right here, make sure mirror is turned on. Your material is the shiny side, the face side down. You'll be cutting into that matte side of the back. I always pick more pressure. It just seems to work best with my machine, and we are good to go. I will meet you over at the machine and we will load our materials. All right, y'all, so we are working today with our Sports Flex and our holographic sparkle. So this is going to be mermaid and ocean, and our Sports Flex will be the rest of our words. Like I was saying, we want to make sure that our pretty side, the shiny side, is face down, which with these kind of bright iron-ons is really easy to see how, like to tell this is the back, this is the front, and we're going to make sure it is face down on our cutting mat. With some of the more subdued iron-ons, it's a little harder to tell, but the front side will always be shiny because it has that clear carrier sheet over it. So I'm going to just go ahead and put both on the same cutting mat. I find that that works just fine. We'll just turn this baby around when it comes time to do the second one. Load this in. So this large square is our standard Sports Flex iron-on, and that's what we're cutting the first cutting mat out of. So if you're putting both on the same mat, just make sure you're loading it in the right way or you'll cut things out of the wrong part. This corner doesn't want to stay down. We're not cutting anything out of this corner, so it's fine, but makes me nervous. All right. All right, so let's take that out. That is cut all the way through, and now we will weed our pieces. So if you've never weeded before, it's very easy. We're just going to come in here and we're going to take out all the inside portions of the words we don't need. This weeding tool needs to be upgraded. There we go. Let's try this one. Because it's holographic and the iron-on's a little thicker, but oh, this does not want to weed very easily. Oh yeah, look at that. That's odd. All right, so we will go ahead, we will finish all the way across, and then come in here. We'll start to weed the outside, which hopefully will be easier. Slow so we don't rip anything. Look at that. Why is that doing that? And is that a problem? I don't know. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and weed this and I'll be back and I'll let you know if I think that's a problem or not. All right, so there was only 2 spots right here and at the end of the N where we had that weird holographic mess. I was able to scrape most of it away with my scraper tool, and then you can see I just kind of cut the carrier sheet where it was kind of the worst of it away just to make sure it wasn't on there anymore. I don't think that it's going to affect anything anyways because that's the holographic portion and not this backing, which is the actual iron-on glue, but we'll find out. Our Sports Flex weeded perfectly. So now we're going to layer these a little. And you'll see that the Mermaid, of course, fits right into this portion. I think we're going to have to use a little bit of heat transfer tape to hold it in place. And you don't have to do this. You could easily just layer them, as in do one and then the other but why not? I don't want to have to heat this up twice if I don't have to. You know what? We're gonna heat it up twice because I can't, it's hard to make sure that's 100% straight. So let's go ahead, get this one ironed on, and then we will do our holographic layers afterwards. So I'm going to go ahead and move my Cricut and grab my Easy Press. And we are actually going to be putting these on a sign today. Makes a gong noise. So we're gonna iron them right on this aluminum. And then right here, where we have an empty space, I have this mold for a resin piece. It's a silicone mold. I'm going to make a mermaid tail to go on this sign. So, I'm so excited. All right, so I'm going to lay it all out. I need to make sure that my mermaid tail fits and my bottom ocean mermaid fits in this space. So I know that if everything else is aligned properly, we are good to go there. So I go ahead, use my heat resistant tape. Really, this carrier sheet is kind of sticky, but not as sticky as we would like. So we're just gonna smooth it out and then make sure it does not move. Honestly, not sure what this is, but I don't want it glued there if it's something with a sticky backing. There we go. Got it. Perfect. Now, I've set my Easy Press to 300 degrees for 30 seconds, and we're going to do a flat push over all of this. You can move the iron around if you need to, but for something like this, covering the entire design with flat, even pressure works perfectly. You don't need to move it around, but unlike infusible ink, something where it will shift and cause drama, it's not gonna hurt it if you move it around. We're gonna let it cool down because that metal is always hot to the touch after you've pressed it, and then we will do a cool peel. So give it a minute. Once it's cool to the touch, we'll remove this and we will add our holographic layer. All right, I tested a corner and it's looking pretty good. Metal's not hot, but it's not cool. So I'm just use this weeding tool to keep my fingers off of it. That A tried to come up. Did you see that? There we go. All right, it's all fine. Good to go. So now we will add our pretty layers. Well, I suppose these are pretty too, just not as pretty as the holographic. And we're going to align them with the right side being the straight portion. Meaning they're lined up on the right and not the left. Those puppies really want to be in here helping. Now, if we put our Easy Press right over this iron-on that we have already heated up and is now unprotected, it doesn't have a carrier sheet over it, it will be destroyed. Which is why I had originally wanted to layer this under the other carrier sheet. But I have this sheet and it's just a protector. So we'll put that down and that will help protect our exposed iron-on. Perfect. Turn that off. Ooh, it looks so pretty. Now I will be doing this little mermaid tail in a different video, so I will link that down below if you want to go check it out. But I will include in the SVG a mermaid tail SVG. So if you do not want to pour resin, you can simply cut that out of your same holographic or Sportsplex vinyl and iron it on with the rest of your sign. We're going to go ahead and let this just cool off, and then we will do one more cool peel to reveal the final sign. All right, it's cool to the touch. Oh yeah. And I really don't see any leftover residue from that weird holographic, like, dust, whatever was not bonded to the glue properly. I don't know. So I didn't think there would be. Like I said, it didn't have any glue on the dust, but ooh. I just was not sure. All right, so that part of Mermaid needs a little more heat. Interesting. That's all right. I can do that. Can always go in with my mini Easy Press and hit that one portion with heat if we need to, but should just be able to heat everything up a smidge more. And then we will really like bond that part. It shouldn't need to be, but sometimes on metal, I find that just going over things with the brayer a little bit helps. Not technically termed, but in my mind, smush things together. So I'm just gonna hit that part right there. Let that cool and we'll try again. All right, success. I think the problem was the carrier sheet and not even the foil or the iron-on that was giving us issues. And that's why we had that little bit of foil not coming off properly. Why this I and the E and the M were stuck. Because when I looked at the I, it was actually bonded to the carrier sheet. I had to peel it off. But that's okay. Once we got the carrier sheet off, apply a little more heat, and it is firmly set now. So if you want to see the finished full sign with the Resin Mermaid, I will link that down below. You can go check it out there. In the meantime, this little baby is finished. So I hope you liked this project, complete with a little troubleshooting, which sometimes we have to do, but we got there in the end. And I will see you in the next Cricut project. Bye, y'all.